Hey ladies, episode 41. Today we are talking all about trust, specifically broken trust. I'm really excited to dive into this topic with you. I also want to say that I know that this podcast is releasing on my wedding anniversary. Yup, June 23rd is the release date for this podcast episode, and my hubby and I will be celebrating 19 years married. It's kind of crazy that we're at 19 years. We are actually planning a really wonderful big vacation for year 20. Don't know if there'll be any other exciting things, but I know there will probably be a Hawaiian vacation as part of that celebration. We're kind of in love with the Big Island. Anyway, before we dive into the episode, I just wanted to give a shout out to Honey Bunny 9000 for leaving such a beautiful review of the podcast. Honey Bunny says, sometimes life can get really crazy and exhausting. That's the truth, isn't it, ladies? And you find yourself just giving until you feel like a shell. If that sounds like you, I would really encourage you to take time for yourself. Take some time every day or every other day to listen to these podcasts. A bubble bath couldn't hurt either. I love that. But the reason why I say that is because this podcast is all about learning how to give to yourself so you're not pouring from an empty cup. It's about finding balance in your life so that you can be successful even in the areas where you're struggling, whether that be health, marriage, self-care, parenting, etc. I really love Jennifer's honesty all about these topics. This isn't one of those podcasts where the speaker is like, quote, just try harder. Jennifer acknowledges how hard these topics can be because she has struggled with them too. When you take time for yourself to listen to this podcast, it's almost like talking to an old friend. Highly recommend investing in yourself with this. Wow. If that doesn't capture my heart for this podcast, I don't know what does. Thanks so much for leaving reviews. I can't even tell you what it means to me. I'm so glad you're here, Honey Bunny 9000, listening as part of your self-care. All right, let's dive in.
Welcome to the Health, Life, and More for Women podcast with certified life coach, mom of four, and just all-around lover of all things 80s, your host, Jennifer D'Amato. Buckle in. Let's get started.
So like I said, ladies, today I want to talk about trust. I mean, trust is one of those really weighted words because when we have trust with someone else, when we have trust in relationships, I don't even know if we acknowledge it that much, but we definitely acknowledge when trust has been broken, right? You feel that deeply. And our actions reflect that broken trust. Every choice you make, every decision to say something or not, to be part of something reflects broken trust. I mean, we've all been there. That broken trust in one relationship can kind of even spill over to other relationships. I can remember being deeply wounded by another woman. I mean, to my core, wounded. That it really, like this broken trust between the two of us, made me hesitant to even want to be in relationship with any other woman that close. It really did something to me. Broken trust in a relationship can affect other areas of our life. It affects us wanting to enter into relationship with anyone else. It can have us start questioning ourselves, doubting ourselves. Sometimes it can be the thing that leads to the negative self-talk, where those sentences that are lies, that are not true, spiral out of control in our own head. And we can't seem to get rid of them. And we actually start believing that they're true. Broken trust. Broken trust is heavy. It's weighted. What I want you to take a look at is a different type of relationship where you might be experiencing broken trust. First, you need to acknowledge the relationship. You and I are in relationship with food. Stick with me here. You might fight that. You may be like, no, I'm not. Food is food. Relationships are really. You are in relationship to food. If you have ever found yourself labeling food good or bad, if you have ever found yourself feeling guilty or bad about eating something, if you have ever judged yourself based on the food you consumed, I want you to hear you are in relationship to food. We all are. Some people have the most amazing, healthy relationships to food. Some people are a work in progress in their relationship to food. And some people are in the most toxic relationship with food. They're the ones who have broken trust, deeply wounding, broken trust with food. Now, you might be still on your journey, or maybe you actually haven't up to this point acknowledged you're in relationship to food, but I'm going to tell you right now, there could be broken trust in this relationship. How do I know this is happening? How do I know that there's broken trust happening in our relationship to food? Let me give you an example. So you decide, I'm not eating any sugar. None. I don't know, maybe you've done the Whole30. Maybe you did some other diet program or just on your own said, no more sugar for me, right? And so therefore, you automatically deemed sugar in some category. You might not have said it out loud, but sugar became bad. Sugar became this evil thing. And then you go on your way and you're not having any sugar, and maybe you're experiencing some symptoms of not having the sugar. You're thinking about sugar a lot. Maybe you're having sugar cravings, but you're fighting them and you're going through, I can do this. I've talked to a lot of women who've come off a sugar detox or Whole30, and they reach the end of that, whatever that was, if they made it. And then what happens? All they freaking want is sugar. All they want. It doesn't matter if it's sugar from watermelon and blueberries. Yes. Don't go sending me all the messages about Whole30 and amazingness and you can have fruit on it. Or they're having cookies and cake and all the deliciousness that comes with that. And then what happens? They feel like garbage. They feel awful. Now, they might feel awful just because they haven't consumed any and then they overconsume, right? That happens. Or they feel awful because they had what they believed was no self-control around sugar. Broken trust. I cannot trust sugar. I can't trust myself around sugar. I can't trust myself to even be near. I can't have it in the house. I'm terrible. I can't believe this. I have no control over sugar. Broken trust. Does this sound familiar? Maybe not for you, but I guarantee you've heard this from someone, especially when we believe we have no self-control. Even the idea of self-control tells me there is a relationship issue. We have some broken trust issues going on in our relationship to food. You can insert, instead of sugar, you can say meat. I have worked with several who felt I need to become a vegetarian/vegan to lose weight. And then they meet with me after they've gone through this, some of them for years. And of course they feel like garbage. Their body hasn't processed any meat. So they feel like garbage. But what happens is they start doing this mental beat up, this I can't even trust myself anymore. I don't even know what to eat. Something's wrong with me. There is a broken trust in the relationship you are in to food if this is happening for you. The thing is, we don't think about our relationship to food. I mean, when's the last time you really did? When did you think, I wonder how my relationship to food is going? If any of you are doing that, you are freaking amazing. And you're probably like, I don't even need to be listening to this. But most of us are not thinking about our relationship to food. We're thinking about our relationships. We're thinking about our significant other. We're thinking about children. We're thinking about coworkers. We're thinking about our best friends, but we're not thinking about our relationship to food. Here's the thing. You can go on any extreme diet. You can lose all the weight you believe you need to lose. right? You can do all those things, but if you have not healed this broken trust in your relationship, it doesn't mean squat diddly poop. Yes, that's a saying I use in my house. Squat diddly poop. It doesn't mean anything. Here's the thing. I literally meet with clients all the time who are like, well, I've lost all this weight, but I feel like garbage. I've lost weight before, but then I lose complete control of myself. And when I ask them about their relationship to food, they stop. Some of them acknowledge it's not good. It's not good at all. They fear food. They really do. They don't know what to eat because everything seems to go wrong for them when they eat. And then I have some who just have never even considered the relationship. They've never even considered, I'm in relationship to food and I need to address the broken trust, the things that are not right in this relationship so it can be healed. This is exactly why in my coaching practice, we have to address the relationship to food. We have to address the broken trust. And we have to start paving that way to heal it. Because it doesn't matter what weight is lost when you carry the weight of broken trust. Because like I said, in any relationship, broken trust is going to affect other things in your life. You can acknowledge that when it comes to a human relationship. It makes you hesitant to have another relationship. It might even affect what you think about yourself. The same things are happening in your relationship to food. It's why that needs healing. Now, I don't want to leave you hanging here going, okay, Jen, I completely see that there is a lot of broken trust in my relationship with food. So I want to give you two strategies, two tools that I use within my coaching practice. You can easily get them right in your inbox today. I'm going to put a direct link in the show notes below. I wrote an ebook. Now, the focus is talking about overcoming negative self-talk. There is some work in there on the inner critic, on the voice you're hearing, and I want you to use that to address the thoughts about food, to address the broken trust in your relationship to food. If you know that just downloading an ebook, walking through exercises by yourself is not going to get you where you want to be, you have other options. I'm going to link below. There is a one-time session where we meet and I walk you through that piece. I help you start that journey on healing your relationship to food, to the thoughts that have been swirling around in your head that have been keeping you stuck. But maybe you're like, nope, I need it all. I just need it all. I need to go full on in. There's also a link to book a consultation to start working together. All things are available. The ebook might be the best thing for you. Grab it today. You might say, I don't want the ebook, but you know what I really need is to walk through that process with a certified life coach, with someone who completely understands point A to point B. Or maybe you're just like, I want it all. I want to heal my relationship to food. I want to learn about the negative self-talk, how it's been keeping me stuck. I want to overcome that, and I want to become an intuitive eater. I don't want broken trust in my relationship to food any longer. I want that healthy relationship. I want to be that person who no longer labels food good and bad, who no longer stresses about what I'm eating. If that's for you, the option to book a consultation is also available to you. It really is the heart of the work I do, my passion, my mission to help women heal in their relationship to food. Because I know what it feels like to be in the toxic relationship. And I also know what it's like when there's healing and there's no longer broken trust. All right, head to the show notes, click the option that is best for you. Until next week, ladies.